Anyone who's ever worked with me will have done a theory of change, no doubt, at some point in their life. And it's a really helpful framework for really just setting out your vision. It's a really messy process. It's a really complex process. But you really have to kind of almost just trust the process, because it gives you that logic model that starts from where's your vision and where is your starting point. There are some tips around what a good theory of change looks like. And it's about really understanding the outcomes that matter most and thinking about this collectively as the partnership approach. What are the outcomes that matter as a partnership? What matters to you locally? And what is the story that you are trying to tell through these reforms? So what does it mean for your families? What does it mean for your practitioners? What does it mean for your wider partnership? And what is that story going to look like? What needs to change? Let's harness the bits that work really well and just understand the bits where we need to make the differences. And what a theory of change can also really helpfully do is really help to think about the interdependencies. Who needs to work in different ways together, and provide that kind of real clarity about where the impacts are going to be seen. And it really helps to create that shared plan and that shared consensus, because as we've heard from, I think, every speaker this morning, this is a partnership approach. No one in this room can do it alone. They have to do it in a collective way. So actually, how do we build that shared consensus? We have a shared vision. We use a theory of change to get us to that shared vision. What it really also helps to do, which is part of, is about that measuring the metrics. It helps you put in the middle of it, how do we know we're going to have made a difference? How do we know that we started here, we want to go here, what's it mean in the middle? And it helps to sort of look at some of your assumptions as well. As an example here, in terms of just taking you through the theory of change, you start with your ultimate outcome. That is where you want to be. And then you work backwards. So what outcomes lead us to that ultimate outcome? What does that mean for children's sense of belonging, for example? What does it mean for how they thrive and achieve their potential? And then we can work backwards again from that and start to think, well, actually, if we want to make sure children are safe inside and outside of the home, what does that mean in terms of our medium-term outcomes? So you build it up collectively, and you go through the stages. So that's kind of an example of the theory of change, and a kind of a very quick run through of how you might get there.